Tech Kalam by Netpublik. I'm Nur Kodri as your host, and then my co-host.
Vishnu Mahmud, g'day.
We're wrapping up the second week of February, and the digital landscape is feeling the heat from all sides. From landmark trials in Los Angeles to global pushback against the very infrastructure that powers AI. The relationships between society and the big tech is being redefined in real time. Today, we are diving into four major shifts that are shaking the industry. Let's get into the first one, right? So, but how are you?
Oh, it's nice. Nice day. It's raining all the time. But yeah, it's all good here in Jakarta, Indonesia. So good on you.
It's cold in Jakarta, Indonesia, but the tech world is getting hit everywhere. Okay, let's start. Landmark bellwether trial began this week in Los Angeles County Superior Court, where tech giants Meta and Google are facing allegation that they deliberately designed platforms to addict children. But I will add to that, it's not about children, it also happened to us as adults. As of February 2026, over 2,000 lawsuits have been filed against platforms including TikTok, Snapchat, Meta, and YouTube. Internal report reveals that 40% of teens have felt not attractive due to Instagram, and according to WHO, global teen addiction rates have jumped from 7% to 11% in just 4 years. I'm gonna tell my story about my addiction. Do you experience any addiction for using social media?
Not really, no.
Are you heavy on social media?
I mean, like everybody else, both of us, we were all early users of Twitter back then. Twitter, all of social media. But then I remember one time I had to go outside of town and didn't have a signal, and I was off Twitter. I was off social media for like 4 days. Came back, and I realized I didn't miss anything. So okay, so I basically eased off then since. So
But at the first time we experienced the social media is we experience on our laptop or on computers, not directly on our
it's
smartphone.
all about connection. It's exciting times. But then once you connect too often, like you just want to be you just want to have quiet time sometimes. So I don't know.
And then everybody jumps to social media, then I feel like I have to also jump to the social media and also experience the social media, not only like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. I think I try to use everything, including TikTok. I don't know if I'm crazy, smart, or I don't know how to tell.
Well, I mean, like I think marketing has basically taken over. Social media has basically taken over marketing. They're the platform of choice now. I mean, like it used to be the newspapers and the magazines, the advertising within those areas. Now it's the social media platform, as you well know. I'm like right now, like there's so many cases where young kids are using social media. They get bullied or they're addicted to it, and they get the wrong ideas. So there's a lot of ways that the social media companies basically try to keep us, not just the kids, us engaged.
Because the more people and retain the on the platform, they will get more money from the ads, right?
Yeah.
Should be like that, right?
Yeah, I mean, like you get more engagement, you get more eyeballs, you get more data. Oh, it's these people. It's this user who's looking at this. They spend X number of minutes, X number of seconds on this post or on this ad. The amount of data being collected is amazing. And I mean, like right now, like if you look at some of the research, doom scrolling is a thing. So it does affect productivity, it does affect work, it does affect studies, all that kind of stuff. So having the infinite scroll, doom scrolling, autoplay, which is also like I remember the time when I think it was on Facebook. If you autoplay a video, it's considered one play, even though you only play like 5 seconds. The first 5 seconds, and it's counted as as being viewed, which I think is a bit.
Although we can manage the setting actually.
Yeah, well, yeah. But for an advertiser, if people only see the first 5 seconds and not the whole thing, that's kind of a loss. So yeah, I mean, like I think it's something that the social media companies, especially Facebook, Meta, are trying to fight it because there's been a lot of research about how the social media companies, some social media companies, know that about the negative effects their platform have against teenagers, but yet onward they move.
Again, it's not about teenagers only because I feel it too. My observation while I'm went to on a train for coming to the office or get back to our home, then what I see is like maybe 95% on the train is having a smartphone, looking to the social media. They just you just know it when you see this is like they're doom scrolling, and when you see this, they are watching like a long form of video, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then what I see is quite scary because I see many people just like this, just. It's not like you know that Instagram said 3 seconds is the most important thing for the
Yes.
book.
First 2 seconds.
It's not anymore thing. It's just like less than 1 second. They'll be like, and how in the world that we can divine this video or this content is good enough or bad enough if it's just like in a split second.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's something that.
You don't experience that, right?
No, I mean, if I'm on the train, I listen to music, I listen to podcasts, I actually watch TV series.
And I'm watching people using media social.
I think this kind of, I mean, it's happening. It's happening that is an addiction. People are using it. Like we didn't have this when we were younger, of course. But I think at the end of the day, it also comes down to parents. Parents, we have to help manage our children using this as well. So this court case in California, it could basically change everything. So at some point, the Europeans and Japanese government, Chinese government, Asian governments are going to say, hey, you know what? Enough is enough. Because, as we spoke about it last week, there's a lot of American tech companies that basically have a monopoly on these things. So, as I said last week, there is a potential to recreate all these platforms better so that they're beneficial for everybody, beneficial for advertisers, beneficial for users. But, it's an idea, but it takes time and money and effort.
So this court, if the people will win, it's going to change everything on social media.
Well, if basically from what I understand,
Or there will be lot of more people will sue or file the lawsuit.
uh,
Lot more people, maybe like me,
Mhm.
going to the court that I'm saying I'm addicted to social media and I'm going to sue you.
Well, that who knows? That can happen, but most likely there'll be regulations where you have to change stuff. It's the same thing like in the old days. Cars did not have seat belts. Cars did not have airbags. Cars did not have cruise control or all the technology that's there now. It had to be mandated by a regulator. So it's good to have some regulations. It does show where where having the market dictate stuff is good and all, but sometimes for the benefit of the whole market, some regulations has to be implemented. There has been no regulations for social media platforms.
At least I admit I have the addiction to that.
I think we can probably do a session the next time on how to reduce our addiction for that. I think that'd be a good idea. But then again, it links to the next topic for today.
Yeah, yes, the next topic will be like the age of restriction. Yeah, this is something new as well because we already talked about it. This is there might be a damage impact to the social media, but the government is not seriously taking the act. But now the actually Indonesia already mentioned about it last years, and then they will implement the regulation. I think maybe somewhere between this March, and then followed by Australia. And even Australia already banned this social media
For under 16.
for under 16s, and then the European Union already take a look at what's happened in this other region, and then they will start to implement. It's already been seen because the Parliament of EU in November majority voted in favor of reports setting a minimum age of 16 for social media across the block. Yeah,
Yeah. Now that like
that's something that I really agree.
but the problem that the Australians are also facing is how do you enforce this? I think the British also wants to do this well, but how do you enforce it? Like, do you?
Yeah, across to Europe, I think Spain, Greece, Turkey, and Portugal.
They say that one way to do it is you upload a government ID to showcase who you are. So the government ID could be falsified or it could be faked or whatnot. But then again, you'd have a database of government IDs that could get hacked or breached or whatnot. So that might not be a good idea. Um, I mean, I think identity theft is a big thing in the U.S. It's not that big in Europe, from what I imagine. But having a centralized database, no, there's got to be some other way of doing it, because enforcing this is difficult. And again, I go back to the parents. This should be a
But
parent thing
something
as
that
well.
operate in the countries and also take the profit from the country should be regulated, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but some of these things are transnational. So like you have an international, a multinational company that has a social media platform, and you can only accept adults or people over the age of 16. How do you verify that? How do you how do you
That's another question, right?
I mean, you can use technology for it. You can use like some kind of a trustless way where you take a picture of the person being used it, and you can use algorithms to see is this person old enough or whatnot. If it's obviously old enough, okay, fine.
No, you're still young
If
enough
not,
for me, lah.
yeah, very funny. But and then that picture can then be erased, so it's not stored on any database. But there has to be an audit to make sure that that thing happens. And there are other forms of technologies to make sure that happens. But the enforcement is always going to be difficult for that.
And also, if you're talking about like giving away the ID, the personal idea, there's also like a breach of file. If we giving away our ID to the social media platform, it's also a breach of privacy.
Yeah, especially like like some countries have very strict PDP, personal data protection laws, and those have to be taken the IDs have to be taken care of very very carefully.
But that's the only way we can say that we are old enough to use social media.
Sure, I'm sure there are other ways of doing it technology wise, like the facial algorithm is, are you old enough or not, and then you erase the photo.
We can use
That's
AI to.
Yes, we can, but sometimes, but yeah, but again, it takes a while because like AI, what's the data set being used? Early versions of AI had problems recognizing people of color, Asian people. They had really big problems in recognizing that. So there's also other ways of doing it. I mean, like education, of course, like have parents make sure that they tell, okay, here are the rules. You cannot use social media until you're 16. That's the rule. Same thing, like you can't smoke until you're 18 or drink until you're 18. Well, actually, in Australia and most of Europe, it's at 18, I think. America has to wait until they're 21. But set the rules down and make it to standard. I mean, like we have a lot of tools to make sure that that the kids remain protected, basically.
Yeah, again, if you're using the ID, it can be made by AI as well, right?
Yeah, it could be falsified, it could be faked, or because again, then you need to have a centralized database that verifies the ID and where is it stored, all that kind of thing. So yeah, enforcement would be a big issue.
Yeah, it's quite going to be tough to enforce this regulation because we have to have the system to make sure that the ID is right or the face recognition is right, and also if the parents take more responsibility
Yeah,
to supervise their
I
children.
mean, it's like kids cannot watch an over 18 movie. I mean, like it sounds simple. It's basically that simple. But of course, it's not 100% effective. Like kids can just sneak into a movie that they're not supposed to be watching. If it's for over 18 years old and up. But still, I'm like, oh, I want to see Back to the Future. Oh, it's PG-13. Oh, I'm only 6. Whatever, that kind of stuff. So it's up to the parents and how we regulate it. So it's complicated.
But again, if this regulation come through, they will be minimizing the anonymous account, bots accounts,
That may be a good thing.
then will be the numbers of the accounts or the numbers of users will be going drop.
It will drop, yes. And unfortunately, that is one of the KPIs and one of the metrics that those companies are using to say, hey, look, I'm very popular, it's being used. But then if the numbers drop and it turns out there's a lot of bots, that's not very helpful.
We're going to see more about this. I'm sure about that.
Mhm.
And speaking about the AI, because we've seen so many things, AI videos and also AI images. And now China has officially entered a new era of regulatory governance for AI. As of February this year, regulators have intensified inspection of to ensure every major platform takes machines generated content. So every AI images and video, including audio file, must now carry an explicit user visible label and an implicit machine readable identifier in the metadata.
Yeah.
So these things of like tagging and also make it readable for the machine is not been implemented yet.
No. I mean,
Are you sure?
there are a lot of videos out there. Like I saw a video that was amazingly hilarious. 50 Cent winning a Nobel Prize. Eminem was there. Jay-Z was there. Snoop Dogg was there, all wearing tuxedos.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
a fight scene between Brad Pitt and also Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Not this not a likeness anymore. It's exact the same person.
Yeah, and I also saw one of Ip Man fighting Captain America. Now they looked real, but the fight movements were all wrong. Like at one point, Cap's arm turned into a shield, so you know it's AI.
Yeah, for the train eye we can see that, but not like many people can see that.
Yeah, so I mean, like if it comes to it, like if it comes to this, like basically, can you believe your eyes now? It's like you cannot believe your own eyes nowadays. So like back in the day when JFK was shot, there was this famous Zapruder film, and you can see all of that. Oh, it's seeing is believing.
Moon landing.
Moon
Ah.
landing. But now, like with this thing, then this is like 4K resolution, high def resolution. So I mean, like I think like there's a lot of songs I think on Deezer now, which are basically AI
Every platform.
made.
Every platform.
Like YouTube, Instagram. There's a lot of very funny, like what was it, Bigfoot on Instagram, the Bigfoot AI videos. They're hilarious. And of course, like someone said, I can't remember who it was, but in Hollywood, uh, one of the AI image to video platforms is so good. One of the famous movie directors says 80% of my skill set is already in this AI, which is of course scary. But then again, it always comes down to what does the market want? Does the market want to see a fake Tom Cruise or real Tom Cruise? Do they want to see a film that has no soul, or a film that has some soul, written by someone with heart and grit, basically? I mean, at the end of the day, what the Chinese officials are saying, if it's AI, it's got to say made by AI. It's got to have warning like disclaimers everywhere, and the metadata should also have that. And I think I mentioned this last week, where the blockchain can also be used as well, either using Solana or Ethereum blockchains to help identify and say this is real, this is a real movie, or I made this movie, so therefore I'm responsible for it. Because basically, if you can authenticate proper movies, proper video, proper images or sound, I made this. It basically comes down to trust. Because with all of these AI slop, it eliminates trust from the news, from science. So by doing something like this, authenticating using the blockchain, or having watermarks, that is on all AI platforms. That if you make something using that platform, there will automatically be a built-in watermark. That would help to ensure trust is regained again within
And it
the
should
Taylor
be an
platform.
obligation, not just what say a call to say you have to do this.
It should be mandatory. Like there are so many AI platforms out there. Now it's possible It's possible to like have so everybody can come to an agreement and say, okay, you know what, all of us will put in a metadata or like a watermark, hidden watermark that will identify
Yeah.
this is made by AI.
And
We
then
could do
if
that.
we post it to the Instagram or other platform, the platform will automatically say that this is an AI generated
Mhm.
product. Yeah.
Yep. But it's not mandatory at the moment. So it's up to the better angels of the developers who make this. So could they do this? Yes, it can be done. Technically, it can be done. Is there? It's like it's like we come to an agreement for a particular format.
Yeah.
For like MP3 is for music, MP4 is for video, and stuff like that. It can be done. It can come to an agreement for that, for the benefit of humanity. That'll be good.
And then the blockchain that you mentioned is going to be like an institution that's going to like validate
They
the
do have
accounts.
one. Wait,
I mean, if you're like a big media company, then you should like register to this blockchain institution in order to get the verified bit.
yeah, but then you'd have but then it's a bit too centralized and it can be a bit more bureaucratic. That can be also an issue. I mean, there is one. It's called the Coalition for Content Provenance and Authority, the C2PA, and they've established that to try to make sure that okay, you know what, let's make sure that whatever is AI made, let's have it registered there. But it hasn't been picked up as much, so it's there.
Again, I'm not worried about the cats dancing or the Bigfoot dancing or singing. I'm worried about the fake news spreading around like crazy. And then once who's like, this is quite new to me. This is the fake news, yeah, the fake news. Someone think this should be, everyone should know, then everybody like already spread around the world and nobody's going to verify this is a real one or just AI generated one.
It can also come down to education as well. So if something looks too good to be true, it probably is. So like if there's an offer, hey, if you give me 1 Bitcoin, I'll give you 3 back. It sounds too good to be true. It's the same thing. So if you see something that cannot be verified on the news sites, on other social sites, people should not spread news items that can be verified. Like most of the younger generation in my family, we do that because our elders in our family, they share something
Yeah, happened to me as
that's
well.
wrong,
Yeah,
and
but we
it's not.
cannot tell them, right?
We tell them quietly, personally, directly. Please take this off because it's
In Asian
wrong,
manner.
in an Asian manner, and then they'll take it off. Because like no one wants to be seen as the fool, and we don't want to humiliate people in front. But it's also important not to spread misinformation as well. So
But I'm also want to mention that this how we going to stretch this AI generated content. Let's say I want to add a mustache to my face, or
that would require a lot of processing power. But yes, especially if you keep moving around.
making my skins lighter. Is this should be like labeled to AI?
If I don't know. I mean, like basically, if you're using AI,
And also the email that I sent to you.
mm,
I want because I'm too lazy. That day I'm asking my AI to send you the AI
written on
email.
behalf of Noor Kodri by Stanley, the AI. I mean, I think it's always important to have transparency. Is always good. But I mean, like, yeah, I mean, like, people are now using AI to write articles. People are using AI to write their books. It can be done for outlining. It can be done for writing the first chapter, or to just get them out of their writer's block. Do you have to declare that AI was used?
Yeah, that's the point.
That's a question.
Yeah.
Because now I use Grammarly. Grammarly is to check grammar.
Yeah.
It speed things up. I use a
It's
spell
AI-based
checker.
actually, right?
It wasn't an AI based before. Now it is. And I use spell checkers. Is that considered AI as well?
Yeah.
So it's a slippery slope. But I think in the end, and it's the same thing with YouTube. YouTube has demonetized and erased a lot of channels that they deem as low effort, template driven, and basically something that you just churn out that gives no value for their users. So a lot of those channels have been demonetized. But you can use AI to have a special effect, or to help your writing and to help you prepare or whatnot, you can use it, but it's got to be something that adds value for YouTube viewers. So there's that balance.
It's going to be like an endless conversation with using this AI or not. But let's get into the more serious one, to the next topic, the data centers, because we already mentioned like many times this AI boom is making the big tech companies building bigger infrastructure, not only in one country but spreading to most of the countries. I see an article that say there is an investment in Malaysia, and then the neighborhood of the data centers in Johor is protesting because the pollution and the dust. This is in the early part of the development, yeah, not already being, yeah, right. And then maybe we should also consider to be worried because the AI data center or the data centers will use many waters, yeah, to cool it off, yeah.
It's happened. There's been some cases in the U.S. where people in rural in areas where the data center has just been made, their water, their access to water, the water tables inside the wells have gone down. It's being used a lot. It's been said that the energy used for data centers will triple by 2028, and it's basically it will basically push the price of the electricity rates higher for everybody, not just for the data centers, but for the people who live around the data centers. And I think in Georgia, I think for one of the XAI data centers, people are complaining because allegedly their XAI is using diesel generators to put more power, which is causing pollution over there. So there's some complaints there as well. Um, but I think just recently, the Trump administration basically says, hey, if you're going to make a data center, you got to pay more for electricity. You got to have make sure that the residential electricity bills don't jump up. So there's some processes working around that. But again, like I'm not sure that having all these data centers are necessary because, like what DeepSeek has shown, like you don't really need a gigantic um, data center or like processor make a good artificial intelligence LLM. I mean, in some cases, it's all about smaller, like SLM, like small language models, and just use that, which is much more efficient and you use less electricity. Like the one in Johor, they're basically protesting because they're afraid and they're seeing what's happening around the world. I mean, like it's pretty obvious of what's happening in terms of data centers. Like what happens if a data center comes to you? They've seen it, what's happening, and they're pretty worried about it. So it's not surprising at all.
Yeah, although the other tech companies like Intel, AMD, Nvidia trying to innovate by building the chips more energy efficient, but to compare with the environment impact, it's still like not balanced yet.
I think,
And also, I can also mention that there's like Snyder company, the Snyder
Mhm.
is also yeah, because I think they also get the benefits from the data centers, yeah, but they also trying to innovate to make the data centers not using bigger energy than they should have.
Mhm.
I mean, but the technology is not there yet to compare with the environment impact.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's all about necessity is the mother of invention. Right now, and I think this comes from the whole startup uh, style of doing business. Put as much money as you can, build as quickly as you can, grow, 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 grow. And the same thing with the AI is that we have an LLM. Let's put all the information in there. Let's put more information, and somehow it will become sentient. It will become AGI. Now, a lot of people don't believe LLM is the way to get AGI.
Welcome to the matrix.
Hello, Skynet. Come with me if you want to live. But I think at the end of the day, necessity is a mother of invention. Like if you have a limit to something, then you work within that limit, and you could probably find a solution within there as well. I mean, the Chinese have did it. DeepSeek has done it,
Yeah.
and they're doing pretty well.
I'm worried about the spirit of I need more power.
Yeah, so a lot of data centers in the U.S. have been postponed because of resistance
Yeah, yeah.
from the local council.
Because we're living on this just one earth and with this limitation, and then this is actually the electricity, the power comes from the fossil, right? Fossil has the limitation, so even the what's so called renewable energy hasn't yet been like proven to be the exchangeable to this fossil based fuel.
Mhm. I mean, if all of the effort and capital is being diverted to renewable energy and efficiency and whatnot, we could probably see some really big change on the planet instead of focusing to go to the moon.
So how about the decentralized the data center like you mentioned before? Is it going to be more effective?
Well, I mean, like instead of having just one gigantic server or multiple servers that act as one AI unit, each company, each organization would have their own small
Like you have the
AIs.
companies, you have the other data
Yeah, like
centers.
every company, they already have a data center. They already have servers for their email, for their files, for their whatever. You put like another server that has AI in there. Okay, okay. It needs some power. It needs GPUs and whatnot. That is more efficient compared to having a gigantic one that's being processed uh, for the whole world.
Yeah, because you know the
And it's
AWS,
yeah,
they have so many idle performance, right? The servers might be they have so many servers and then they're trying to sell it.
it's diversified. It's distributed, so it's not. So it won't like what they do now. It's distributed, so it won't affect one area too much. So it's distributed basically. So it's possible, and of course, new technologies for energy efficiencies and power and circular energy recycling is has there's a lot of opportunities there as well.
Thank you, Mr. Positive Guy. You're very positive today.
I'm always positive.
That's all for now. We will see you next week. We don't know what's going to be our next week, yeah. But I'm sure there will be more surprises. I'm looking forward to the courtroom of LA and the construction site of Johor. And also, this conversation is quite real because we can see that the growth gonna cost a lot. And we'll see you next week.
Hello.